Okay, let's research some colleges. Let's see. Ooh, 2018 Best Colleges in America. Let's check this out. All right, Stanford, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Harvard, Yale. Oh, wait, what's this? Public universities, community colleges, best value colleges? What is all of this? I don't know what any of these are. What does this mean? How do I find college scholarships? I'm so stressed out. Does this scene look familiar to you?
Are you feeling overwhelmed?
Confused?
Uncertain?
We get it.
We've been there.
We each have our own unique strengths, preferences, and goals when it comes to higher education.
Our hope for this video is that you can demystify some of your uncertainties when it comes to furthering your education.
So, let's jump right in.
When beginning the college search, it's first important to know that the path determining the right college is different for each person. And don't just take our word for it. A study done at the University of Nebraska found that each student surveyed tackled their college choice process in a unique way, depending on what was important to them and the resources available. To get started, here are a few things to think about before you begin your search. Let's start off with institution size. One question to ask yourself to begin is, do I want to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond? There are generally 3 institution sizes: small, medium, and large. Large universities usually have a variety of academic choices, housing options, and student activities, as well as well-funded athletic programs. They can either feel overwhelming or exciting. Small universities usually have smaller class sizes, more opportunities for hands-on learning, and a strong sense of community. They can feel either friendly and familiar or isolating. Medium institutions will have a mix of both the large and the small characteristics, but be aware that it doesn't mean it's just right. Next, let's look at public versus private institutions. Fundamentally, the difference between the two is how they are funded. Public institutions receive a portion of their funding from the state government, and private institutions rely on private contributions, donations, and tuition cost. So, why does this matter to you? Well, how an institution is funded affects the tuition price, or how much money your education is going to cost. Public schools' published tuition prices are generally much lower than private schools. However, private institutions generally offer more competitive scholarships to make their actual cost of attendance lower than the published price. So, don't let the initial price shock you too much. Public schools typically have a wide variety of degree options, a larger student population, and many in-state students. Private schools typically have smaller class sizes, a wider variety of students from different states, and tailored resources. Now let's explore in-state and out-of-state options. One question I suggest asking yourself to get started here is, do I want to be close to home, or am I itching to explore and live in a new part of the country? But let's back up a bit first. Generally, people only speak of in-state and out-of-state when talking about public institutions. This is mostly because the tuition rate will be different. If you go to a public school outside of the state that you live, your tuition rates will be higher. For private institutions, the tuition rate is the same regardless of what state you live in because they are not funded by any state taxes. So if you're considering going private, you may want to explore what specific programs an institution may excel at. So, when determining whether you want to explore in-state or out-of-state options, think about both the tuition differences and the distance from your family and friends.
So what if you're thinking, would a 4-year university be right for me? Do I have another option? The answer is yes, you do. 2-year colleges, more commonly referred to as community and technical colleges, exist for students that want to earn an associate's degree, a certificate in a certain program, or wish to learn a technical skill. These are a great alternative to a 4-year school, and according to Texas Southmost College, here are some benefits of attending a community college. 1. Affordability. Fees and tuition costs are significantly lower, and if a student would like to attend a community college first before attending a 4-year to finish their degree, it's a wise choice. 2. smaller class sizes. This atmosphere allows students to ask questions easily, get to know their classmates better, and build relationships. 3. It's close to home. Living at home for these 2 years can save you plenty of money. 4. The transition is much easier after high school for most students, and some students prefer to start at a community college. Improving skills. 5. Technical programs are offered to specialize in a certain skill area, such as welding, machine tool technology, radiography, and surgical technology, among many others. 6. Community colleges are also helpful if a student is unsure of their career path and just need to take a few classes to explore their interests. Also, there are just a few other types of colleges you may want to be aware of in case they come up in your search and you would like to know just a little bit more about them. HBCU stands for Historically Black Colleges and Universities. The U.S. Department of Education defines these as a source of accomplishment and great pride for the African American community as well as the entire nation. HBCUs offer all students, regardless of race, an opportunity to develop their skills and talents. PWI stands for Predominantly White Institutions. These are institutions of higher learning in which white people account for at least 50% of enrollment. HSI stands for Hispanic Serving Institution. These institutions participate in a federal program to assist colleges and universities in the U.S. that have a large percentage of Hispanic students. R1, R2, R3 universities mean that they are research universities and they are known for their doctoral programs. And lastly, liberal arts colleges. These specifically focus on education and the arts. These are just a few of the other types of colleges you might find in your search. There are plenty others if you would like to know more. According to Ronald Head, higher learning, especially community colleges, should exhibit institutional effectiveness, which means the process and structure used by a college to determine the quality of its students, academic programs, administrative function, and support services. It's just a good idea to keep this in the back of your mind while you search.
So, now that you've heard the basics about the types of institutions out there, it's time to narrow down your options. Once you've done this, start visiting some campuses. In a 2004 article, Nora emphasized the importance of college tours in allowing students to further match their needs with the campus where they feel welcomed, comfortable, capable, safe, supported, happy, and most of all, accepted. So, why are we telling you all of this? Well, if you put in the time and effort as you begin your search, you could avoid future stress and regret about your educational choices. In a 2017 poll done by Gallup and the Strata Educational Network, 51% of Americans regret one of their college education choices. They said students may have just made different choices if they had different information at the time they were picking a major or picking an institution to graduate from. So, get out there and find the right college for you.